Welcome to the Metals Investment Forum. It is my great pleasure to introduce Western Exploration. Darcy, welcome.
Thank you, Chen. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, good. You just released some excellent metallurgical result this morning. Tell us about that.
Yeah, no, we did, and thank you for mentioning that, Chen. We thought it was important to get an understanding of the metallurgy on this new high-grade discovery we made near Gravel Creek, and so we started that work early this year, and we released it today, which shows very good recovery of both gold and silver to a float concentrate, which is very similar to what we saw at the original Gravel Creek deposit. So we think both of those deposits can be treated similarly together. So that's a good step forward for the new high-grade discovery.
Well, excellent. Just remind us your original site. I saw you have a picture of the original, and then this year you're exploring more look like 3 or 4 times bigger land package?
Yeah, the area that we have to explore is substantially larger than the resources for sure. And this year we're doing drilling at the new high-grade discovery that was announced last year, just to the east of Gravel Creek. And even in that area, if we're successful with the drilling, the footprint that's been identified so far by drilling is about probably twice the size of our current Gravel Creek resource and higher grade. So it gives us a lot of opportunity to not only increase the size of the resource, but increase the grade as well.
Wow, well, that would be very exciting. When the results will come out?
Well, that's always the magic question, and hopefully we get something in the next couple of weeks. We've got 2 drills. We had 2 drills turning. We're down to 1 right now, just to get the first results, and then we'll deploy that second one. But we're expecting results in the next couple of weeks, and that's the latest we've heard, and we look forward to getting those to market on a timely basis.
Wow, excellent. So for investors, look out for next few weeks. That could be something very significant, with especially with what they have last year. High-grade discovery is a follow-up. That's very exciting. And then tell us about other projects. Recently, you did a small raise, with a strategic investor.
Yeah, we were very fortunate to be working with a group out of Houston, Texas, over the last 9-10 months. They've invested in exploration and development in Nevada in the past. They were one of the original investors in the Isabella Pearl opportunity, which is now owned by Fortitude Gold. So they've always liked these opportunities in Nevada that are close to development or can go into development in the near future. So Dolby George was of particular interest to them. And they approached us, as I said, 9-10 months ago, saying, can we help you with that? So most recently, we announced a deal, $1.7 million private placement from TXAU Ventures out of Houston, Texas, to help us continue with the de-risking of Dolby George through engineering, metallurgical studies, ultimately towards a pre-feasibility study. So they're a very knowledgeable group about what they're doing, but it's great to have them as a shareholder and very supportive. They did the private placement at the market price, no discount to market.
Oh, excellent. That's good to have those strategic investors. I mean, right now we're just talking about there are a lot of companies having problem finding money to do drilling, and then you seem to have a plenty of money.
Yeah, well,
because of your deposit, your size of deposit, the grade, and your location.
Yeah, I think that's right. And right now in the junior mining space, we're seeing a lot of have and have-nots, and certainly we can look at it and say the people that have been able to get results to market and back up those results have had an opportunity to raise some additional capital, whereas some companies that haven't been doing a lot of work from depleted treasuries, they haven't been able to be as opportunistic. So I feel for the industry right now, but I sense that things are starting to turn. I think the recent deal that we did at no discount to market is an example of that people are starting to see the value that's sitting in some of these companies. So I hope that other companies get the opportunity like we did recently.
Oh, excellent. So right now, the metals price went up, and today it just hit a new record. The majors are doing well, and it just need to trickle down to the juniors. I think we're gradually coming in, and smart investors that start looking for strategic asset like your recent, investor.
Yeah, I think so. I think, we always see that in these cycles, that the majors, the ones that are producing the gold, see the first response from an increased gold price, and then it trickles down. And I think we're starting to see that, but I think it'll be, again, very focused on the opportunity, the jurisdiction, and how close it is to actually maybe a decision on development. But again, in the past, we've seen that it does trickle down. It just takes time. So what I've seen today at the conference is a lot of optimistic people that will happen in the near future.
Well, excellent. Yeah, it's well attended, and a lot of people are looking for opportunities. I see a lot of investors actively go to the booth asking questions. Seems to be more turnout than last time.
Yeah, no, I agree. We've seen a lot of interest in not only our company but other companies that are here, and it's always good to do these conferences because I think you meet with other executives that are in the same boat as you, that capital has been tight, and together you kind of reinvigorate yourself and motivate the others to keep going and keep pushing ahead because there's a lot of belief in what we're doing, and the projects and the people. So I'm glad to see that.
Okay, great. Tell us a little bit more about the other project you have. We just mentioned, maybe one.
So on Dolby George, which is about 5 miles, so 8 kilometers to the west of Gravel Creek, where we're drilling right now, we've got a good resource there of 500,000 ounces of oxide right at surface. That project went to a feasibility study in the late 90s under Atlas Mining. It never got developed, but even at that time, the value at that project was noticed. So this money that we just raised will allow us to start doing more metallurgical work and engineering to de-risk that. But we've also done a lot of geological work, and that deposit has only been drilled out in the oxide portion. The sulfide below it we know is open. It's never been drill tested except for a couple drill holes that demonstrate good gold values. And that was kind of the way things worked in the 80s, that once you hit the sulfide, you stop. But if we remember our 2 neighbors at Jarrett Canyon and Big Springs, 90% of what they've mined and have in resource is sulfide. So it's kind of the tip of the iceberg. These oxide are the noticeable part and where you get your initial cash flow. But the future of the deposits grow into that sulfide zone. And we're looking forward to kind of developing that exploration potential at Dolby George so that we can execute drilling there coming in the next year.
Okay, good. So that looks like a very, very low-hanging fruit or some, something.
Yeah, I'd agree. We've got a lot to do in the Aura project. It's we're taking a measured approach to it so that it's not too dilutive to our shareholders. But we've got, a plethora of targets, I would say, at Dolby George, at Wood Gulch, at Gravel Creek still. But certainly with those high grades we identified last year, that is the obvious target that we need to be drilling right now to see if we can connect that to the main resource. And that's what we're doing right now.
Wow, good. Finally, maybe you talk about the management team and your other strategic investors.
Sure. I think, we don't talk enough about our management team. And the management team I'm working with right now, I'm fortunate to have known most of them for 25 years. So our VP of Exploration, Mark Hawksworth, has been in the industry for over 40 years. He's been involved in a number of successful discoveries across the Americas. He was the co-chair of the exploration department for the Malartic joint venture when we were at Yamana with Agnico. And Mark and I have worked together with Meridian Gold and Yamana in the past. And Mark has been successful at the Mercedes deposit in Mexico, Malartic in Quebec. And so he is a very good geologist at taking exploration discoveries right through to development. Curtis Turner is our CFO. Curtis has been in the industry for probably 25, 30 years. He was the controller of the El Peñon mine when I was working there. And Nicole Cowles, who's our director of investor relations, who's here at the conference with me. I've known Nicole since the days at Meridian as well. And she was investor relations at Argonaut before joining us. So a lot of people that have worked together in the past. So that gives us comfort on how we think, how we work. And I think, the board that we've got in place with the Schlumberger family, with Brian Kennedy, who was the CEO of Meridian when I was there, Gerard Munera, who's one of the directors, is a board that's very good at capital raising, but also has run private and public mining companies in the past. So very strong management team, very supportive.
Wow, excellent. And then maybe a little bit about your share structure and other strategic
So we've got about 48 million shares outstanding right now. Our largest shareholder is a private equity group called Golconda out of New York. And they started funding the company in 2013. They recapitalized it. And since that time, they've put about $30 million into Western, which led to the discovery of Gravel Creek, actually.
Wow.
So they were very active in it from the discovery in 2013 until the first resource in 2021. The fund closed, so they hold about 46% of our equity, but they don't participate in financings. They've been diluting over the last couple, but some of the individuals within that fund contribute outside the fund. Agnico Eagle owns 14% of the company, and they've been an active shareholder of ours since 2017 and participated in our last financing in March. So they continue to be very supportive, as does Oramet Capital Partners. Oramet has been involved in every private placement that we've done since we went public in 2022. So
Wow,
very
excellent.
supportive.
Oh, good, good. So yeah, looks like a very good list. So, yeah.
You know, and there's some institutional investors like Adrian Day at Europac, US Global with, Frank Aldis or Ralph Aldis, sorry. But, you know, they've been long-term shareholders as well. So we're blessed from some very good and supportive shareholders for sure.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Well, just wish you the best luck especially I'm quite excited as your shareholder. I'm quite excited
Well, thank you, Chen.
for your drilling results.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're looking forward to getting to the market and rewarding the shareholders that have been supporting us.
Okay, great. Thank you. Good
Thank
luck.
you,
Darcy.
Chen. Thank you.